Do you do a unique budget every single month? How about every single paycheck? Hi everyone, I'm Jackie. Welcome back to the channel. I really have to say that when I started budgeting out every single paycheck, which for us means every single week, it truly has changed our lives financially. Just getting a better handle on our money. So we are going to go ahead and I'm going to continue with our series here of budgeting out every single paycheck with you. So let's jump on the Excel sheet. I'm going to update these according to what we actually received. And then I'm going to also update anything from the 7th or the 4th based on what was actually spent. Sometimes, you end up deciding to spend money in one area that you originally had budgeted for another area. So you have to constantly be balancing not only your checking accounts, your checkbooks, or your cash envelopes, whatever system you like to use, but you have to be updating your budget to account for those. Otherwise, you might be over in one category, and if you don't make the changes in time, you could be late or short in another area. So I'm going to add to the 14th, I have gifts. So we actually got several cash gifts for Christmas this year, which is always nice because we are minimalists, so a lot of our family and friends understand that. So it's easier for them just to give us, gift cards or cash, and then we can decide, what we want to do, whether we want to spend it doing stuff together or if we do want to bring anything new into the home. So we actually ended up getting a total of $400. So with that $400, 100 of that was designated to Ricky. And I'm going to make this orange because it's still there. 50 for each of the girls, and make those orange because those aren't spent yet either. Now with the girls, we are starting to teach them the concept of saving, giving, and spending. So we're actually going to put half of this aside for saving and giving, and the other half then they can spend. So they'll be able to pick out something that they want specifically. I told them we're going to wait till after Christmas, after Santa comes, so that way they know if they even need anything or want anything else. 100 of that also is going to go straight to our vacation. We're going to California to visit Ricky's family for Christmas. That other 100 was for me, but I actually went to the dentist and I got all my teeth done. Here for now, because I will have to update this. For myself, if any of those who have been following my goals report videos, I mentioned, one of my health goals was to get my teeth looked at. So I had my teeth cleaned a couple months ago. I had 2 fillings that they wanted to redo, and I had 2 cavities. So I went ahead and they gave me the total price to have everything done, because we don't have dental insurance, was going to be $606. Because I took the time and I saved up all the money, I actually ended up getting a 20% discount. So I saved $120. So I actually only ended up spending, I spent $484.80. So I'm actually going to put that there. That's actually what I spent. So I actually ended up getting all 4 of the teeth done, which is good. I wanted to get them done before the year was over, so I did that. My daughters do have dental insurance, so they went and had their cleaning done. We're good. So now we said in January, we're going to get Ricky into the dentist, get his teeth cleaned, and see what he needs to have done. If you look down here then, that puts us at, for that paycheck, it's a negative $384.80. Now I actually ended up bringing over from my business account. So in my self-employment accounts, I have every single month when I get paid self-employment, I mentioned that half of it goes to our budget here. 5% gets put into a savings account, which I call my profit account, and then every quarter I pay myself half of what's in there. So I went ahead and just gave myself my quarter pay a few weeks early. So instead of doing it at the beginning of January, I went ahead and did it now. So I actually ended up bringing over $77.08. So I actually brought over $87.59. So that still brings us a negative $307.71. Obviously it came out of the savings here, right? Okay, so for personal care from the first paycheck actually was $337.68. So what we're gonna do, then we can clear this out and say 177. We used $177.09 from there. We only saved 20.05 cents. This is what happened. This is real life. You have to update things as you go and decide where did it come from, right? So instead of putting that money in savings, I went ahead and got the teeth done. you know, our health is extremely important. Getting your teeth done is very important as well. So the idea here is that this is zero, right? So we've told every dollar where to go. We're not over in one place and under in another place. We're, you know, things are where they're supposed to be. Now let's go on to this paycheck. All right, so my husband did get his base pay of $680. We do before taxes. That's how we're calculating it. And he actually had a little more overtime than I thought. So his overtime was actually $255. Now we will get interest in our checking and savings accounts roughly around the 25th. So I'm just going to put that. That's just under here in the 28th. All right. The other thing is for next pay, he's anticipated to have $357 overtime. So they had a couple weeks with no overtime. The overtime is coming back. The deductions that automatically came out of my husband's paycheck, we do 3% to the 401k before taxes, $28.05. Federal, $4.64. Arizona was $16.33. Medicare was $13.56, and then Social Security $57.97. These are black because those are already gone out of the check. And then the other things that come out automatically is $5.59. This was actually $3.37. So that way I know those are taxes and a 401k. Everything's already accounted for. Okay. All of our regular bills are accounted for. Like I mentioned though, groceries, we did end up I ended up recalculating where the money was used, so I do need to make up the difference here. So, all right, so 62. All right, is going to be black now because that's spent. This is orange because we still have a little bit left of that. I'll talk about that here in a minute. We have that. Okay, otherwise, all of our bills here that have due dates and gas and all that stuff, we already have the money put into our necessities checking account, just waiting until everything starts coming out in about a week. What we have left is $866.55. Now the main bill we have left is going to be our mortgage and our extra principal payment on the mortgage. So we're going to pay for the extra principal payment right here, $152.28. And then the mortgage, basically this whole paycheck minus the taxes and 401k will go into the mortgage here. I'm just going to open this up so I know next week what that's going to be. So what I have to do, kind of figure out, okay, how much is really that going to be? So what I do is I went to a previous budget. So for instance, I can go over here to October's budget and I can see right here that I had a similar paycheck, $680 with $357 overtime. So I can see right here what was the 401k and what were the taxes. So I can already subtract that out of this check. So I know I'm actually going to be left with $884.59. That's going to be covering the mortgage. So to make up the difference from this paycheck, I need to put $244.39 from this paycheck to cover the rest of the mortgage. This is how I do it. I'm sharing these with you guys like in real life, real time kind of, so you can see what am I thinking about, what am I doing as I am doing these budgets. Now, if you weren't sure, if you didn't have a really good idea of what the taxes were, then I would always estimate, or I might put more from this paycheck and less from the next paycheck. It's just sometimes you can switch and do it however you want. However, because we are driving to California for Christmas, I want to make sure we had plenty of that in there. Okay, so we have $469.88. Now remember, we took what we originally had for the emergency fund, we took that away. So we need to put that back and not get carried away. So we originally were budgeting $150. Let's go ahead and put $300 in there, $279.95. So that would give us $300 in savings. $189, so we're going to put that for this way. This will account for the gas to drive to California and drive back and any eating out. There we go. So now we have a zero. We've told every dollar where to go, and we know our mortgage will be paid for. Basically, the last paycheck of the month will cover 401k, taxes, and the rest of the mortgage. Everything else is accounted for here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to kind of balance the checkbook, so to speak. Anything that's in orange is technically in the income account right now. I haven't physically logged onto the bank account and moved the money into the correct account. So we're going to go ahead and update that now. So we have $279.95, $100, $44.39, $60. So we still have $47 7 cents in the income account for groceries. So we're going to add that to the $62 we have. 109 and 7 cents. As you can see, these ones that are orange are already in the necessities account here. Actually, I got the water, sewer, trash bill, and it's actually $71.25. So I need to add $1.25 here out of fun. $1.25 there, that needs to be moved over. This is actually 52 now, and this is 50. And this we actually have 288.68. So this is how much is in the income checking account. Now if you see here, I have a little note here. So when I logged onto the bank, the necessities account is now at $426.96. So that means one of the bills came out, which was actually our cell phone. So I have here Ricky's cell phone is 35, so that's out. And then I had up here aligned with the business, that was my cell phone. So that's out. So let's see if that equals what we need it to equal. See right here, $426.96. So now that account is balanced. We know what's in there. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make this black now, the cell phone, because that's paid and done. Okay. So that's how I balance these two accounts, is when the bills come out, then I take it off of here so I know it's been paid. The savings needs to go back into savings because, like I said, I spent some to finish getting my teeth done, so I need to put that back in savings. Ricky's money I need to add to his account. He has 9 cents in his account, so I'll have 109 cents in there. Part of the mortgage and the extra principal payment, those need to be moved over. The $1.25 needs to be moved over, these to the necessities account. And then for our daughters, I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to put half of this into our savings in our sinking account. We have a savings account just called sinking funds. So for now, I'm just going to put their savings in there, and I'll just mark it under the savings here, how much is in savings, and then they'll, like I said, they'll have half of this to spend on whatever they want. And then the fund, the 288, will need to go to the fund checking account, which currently has nothing in it. Okay, so this, because, you know, we were spending, we originally had some money in there, we got it up to 3,000, we had 2,500 in there before, but we changed it all around. So it's really, with the 300 we're bringing over, we're at 2,800. So now I can delete this out of there and make this a black. Okay, so this is just so we are keeping these totals correct. So Ricky now has 109 cents. 244.39. Now groceries, we have $109.07. We have 2 weeks that needs to get through. So we were originally kind of doing about $80 a week. So as you can see, some weeks we spend more. We're gonna have to basically reel it in and do, you know, $55 for the last 2 weeks of the month, which we can do that because a lot of the stuff that we buy, it lasts us longer than, you know, 1 or 2 weeks. So we still have some stuff on hand. Anyway, we're not gonna go grocery shopping today because we're leaving for California, so we're not going to be back until basically Christmas morning, so I won't worry about doing any grocery shopping until we get home. This is actually $71.25. So the girls, they actually have 25 in savings. This is 25, 7. Fun, 288. So when I come down to the bottom here, you know, these are all of our accounts, so I can see how much is in each account, but what is it designated to. Now our savings, I technically have 3 savings accounts. This one is 1 savings account all on its own. Our giving is 1 savings account all on its own, but you know, we spent everything for Christmas. And then we have the sinking fund. So anything down here for necessities, this is all in the sinking fund, and so it has a designated spot. So like we have $20 towards car maintenance, so basically like we're starting to save money for the next oil change, and then the girls' money. So that's kind of what we have going on here. Thanks for budgeting with me again this week, you guys. I hope that you're getting something out of it. Please leave me a comment below, either with, you know, one thing that you're learning from watching the videos, or maybe if you have a question, please leave me it down in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.